Aurora and Arthur Petrova. Here we come, a caroling at Enfield Vineyard Church. It is Friday, December 16th, 2016, at 18 Harrowway, where the winter sky is a leaden, weeping shroud. Over the fete at Harrow Lodge Primary, the pathetic fallacy screams out loud. The Christmas fair is a cacophonous chaos, a festive, nefarious dread, as Petar's unadulterated rage turns the freezing fucking air to lead. His blue glasses flicker with the glare of the fairy light's glow as he looms over Aurora, his voice a sibilant, biting blow. "You absolute muppet, you little cunt," he bellows with a loquacious roar, while the school's PA system continues its festive holiday lore. Aurora stands shivering in her pink Austrian dirndl and glasses of rose, her juvenile tears like a fountain that perpetually flows. "It happened accidentally, Tatko," she wails in a shrill, piercing plea. But her father's fury is a stagnant, soul-crushing sea. He doesn't care for excuses or the festive cheer on display. He only sees the exacerbated, detrimental mess of this abysmal gray day. The atmosphere is a thick, metallic tang of abysmal, dark despair as Jess French arrives with a professional, somber air. At 30, her dark brown hair is a silken, flowing stream, contrasting the nightmare that has shattered Aurora's dream. She kneels in the cold Honchurch mud, a figure of modest, quiet grace, beside Comanche the white mare, who has a look of agony on her face. The horse's leg is a shattered mess, a bone-deep, jagged fracture, leaving no hope for a recovery or a surgical manufacture. "There is nothing I can do," Jess whispers, a gentle, cruel kindness in her tone as she prepares the needle for a life that must be ended alone. The mare lies still, a silent phantom in the freezing, gray light, as the vet brings a permanent, heavy peace to the night. The onlookers whisper of the tragedy, their voices a low, rhythmic hum, while the weight of the moment makes Aurora's young heart feel heavy and numb. Petar's anger is a thumping, rhythmic beat of deep resentment as he views the dead horse as a financial, appalling ferment. He turns back to Aurora, his ego a tower of strength and spite, his blue glasses glinting with a crimson, hellish light. "This is an atrocious and notorious place to be, you negligent brat," he snarls, ignoring the prying eyes of the crowd on the mat. Aurora's face is a crimson hue of unadulterated, burning shame as she carries the weight of the mare's blood and the blame. "I worked my arse off for this family, and you just throw it away like a piece of shit," he grunts, his words a violent, loquacious fit. He calculates the loss, his mind a contemporary, powerful machine, while the fete carries on, a boisterous, festive scene. The smell of mulled wine and roasted nuts feels like a stinging, cruel joke, as Aurora chokes on the words she never actually spoke. Arthur, aged 8, watches the drama through his green-tinted frames, feeling like a puppet in a series of very boring, stagnant games. He is dressed as a World War II soldier, a miniature hero in a heavy tin hat, wanting to escape the cacophonous, miserable family spat. Arthur is tethered to the shadow his sister has made, standing still in the freezing shade. Tatko is going to be a total tosser all night. He thinks of their fate, his eyes wide with a heavy juvenile weight. He adjusts his soldier's belt, looking for a way to depart, while the coldness of the evening starts to settle in his heart. The tinsel on the nearby stalls flickers with a cheap, plastic sheen, adding to the misery of the contemporary painful scene. He wishes he could just march away from the screams, into a world of heroic, quiet dreams, where the ecstasy of battle replaces this pathetic, domestic theme. They pile into the red 2009 Audi A3, the engine a thumping, roaring beast, as Petar drives toward Romford like he's invited to a violent feast. He ignores the speed limits, his blue glasses fixed on the path ahead, his silence a heavy, stagnant weight of unsaid dread. At 98 Lancaster Road, they stop to pick up Maria, 40 and weary of the strife, hiding the scalding scars that mark her difficult, stagnant life. Her long hair is in 2 low pigtails, her orange glasses catching the rain as she suffers the isolation of her husband's permanent pain. She wears long sleeves to hide the kettle burns of her youth, a physical treasure of trauma, a modest, stinging truth. "Can you just stop being a total cunt for 1 minute, Padar?" She sighs, looking at the London lights through tired, orange-rimmed eyes. Padar just grunts, his fingers tight on the wheel's leather grip, his ego refusing to let a single modest apology slip. In the cargo area, the pets sit with a refined, formal, and royal grace, a stark contrast to the human misery in the small, cramped space. Harlow the Dalmatian, in her pink jeweled collar, looks out at the street. "I find this human discord quite tedious, don't you, Kiev?" she asks with a beat. Kiev, the ginger tabby, sneers as he licks at a ginger-haired paw. "Indubitably, Harlow, their loquacious bickering is a flaw. If they continue this boisterous nonsense, I shall be forced to be ill," he purrs with a villainous, sophisticated, and cold-blooded thrill. "Let us hope the church provides a contemporary and powerful heir." Harlow sighs, adjusted to the Dalmatian's regal, spotted flair. "For this Audi is a stagnant vessel of abysmal, dark gloom, and I really would prefer more than just human-made doom. These Petrovas are exacerbated by their own lack of zen, behaving like petulant children rather than women and men." Kiev narrows his eyes, a treasure of feline, ginger spite, as they speed through the darkness of the London night, their silence a detrimental weight in the air so light. They arrive at Enfield Vineyard Church, 766 Hertford RD, as the clock nears 7, a beacon of light that feels like a modest, small slice of heaven. Pastor Ajay Kotecha and Deaconess Pritu greet them at the wide, open door, their warmth an ecstatic, exhilarated wave across the foyer floor. Ajay, in his sharp suit and glasses, offers a namaste so bright, a tower of strength against the miserable cold winter night. Pritu is a vision in a vibrant, jingling green elf costume and hat, leading them inside for a bit of spiritual festive chat. "Welcome, friends. We have an itinerary to wash your stinging pain," she exclaims, her glasses reflecting the joy like a summer rain. Patar shakes Ajay's hand, though his grip is far from a modest display, muttering that the traffic was a total pile of shit today. Ajay remains calm, his contemporary grace a treasure to see, welcoming the broken family to join the community. Inside the sanctuary, Patar wastes no time for a prayer or a song. He finds a seat where his Acer laptop and work both belong. He snaps the lid open with a decisive, cacophonous, metallic click, refusing to let the Holy Spirit make his business pace stick. "I have a fucking business to run. I can't just sit here like a machine," he grunts to the air, his blue glasses reflecting the glowing screen. His fingers fly across the keys in a frantic, industrious dance, ignoring the powerful atmosphere and the church's holy glance. Maria sits beside him, her orange glasses glinting with a crimson hue, feeling the isolation of a marriage that's no longer true. She watches his fingers move, an onomatopoeic, tapping sound, as his stubborn refusal to engage remains quite profound. "Petar, please. It's Christmas," she whispers with a weary, soft plea. But he is a reluctant tower of strength in his own industry, his petulant silence a wall between him and she. Aurora, seeking comfort from the abysmal dread of her day, finds a large Yuletide log on a side table, tucked far away. Without a second thought, she begins to gorge on the chocolate and cream, her pink glasses fogging up in a sugary, ecstatic dream. The cake is a treasure of sweetness, a brief, exhilarated escape, while chocolate stains her pink dirndl in a messy, brown shape. "This is the best thing in this whole fucking church," she mutters through crumbs, ignoring the feeling of sugar-coated, numb, greedy thumbs. She eats until her stomach feels tight and her heart begins to pound, hiding in the corner where the festive, boisterous carols resound. The chocolate is rich, a stagnant pool of cocoa and fat, and she shovels it in like a desperate, starving street rat. She hopes the sugar will drown out the memory of the horse in the mud, and the way her father's fury felt like a thumping cold flood, an appalling wave of blood. The gluttony soon takes its toll on the poor juvenile child, as the rich chocolate and cream turn her stomach quite wild. As Deaconess Pretu walks by with a cheerful jingling stride, Aurora turns a sickly pale green she can no longer hide. With a violent cacophonous heave and a splashing wet sound, she vomits all over the tinsel that was laid on the ground. The glittery decorations are buried in a miserable stagnant mess, a stinging, abysmal pain caused by Aurora's excess. "Oh, goodness me," Pretu cries, her elf hat jingling with alarm as she rushes to protect the little girl from any more harm. "You've made a bit of an accidentally mess, haven't you, my dear? It seems the ecstatic sugar has turned into a bit of a fear." Aurora groans, her head spinning with a dizzying sugar-filled dread, as she wishes she could just crawl away into her own bed, her petulant pride now entirely dead. Maria, seeing the disaster, decides it's time for some real food, hoping a warm, modest meal might improve the family's mood. She heads to the church kitchen, where the smell of frying fat is a treasure, preparing hot dogs and chips to give the children some pleasure. The sizzle of the potatoes is an onomatopoeic, crackling sound, as she brings a plate to where Arthur is waiting, earthbound. He sits at a folding table, his green glasses perched on his nose, as the smell of the savory lunch into his hungry heart flows. "Here you go, Arthur. Eat something real instead of that chocolate shit," Maria says, her voice weary but showing a maternal hit. Arthur digs in with an ecstatic hunger, his World War II soldier role forgotten, as the hot dogs provide a comfort that isn't entirely rotten. "Thanks, Mama," he mutters, the salt a contemporary relief, as he takes a large, boisterous bite to manage his grief, his reluctant appetite finding brief belief. After the meal, at 5 p.m., the conflict between mother and daughter ignites, a contemporary battle that reaches new, powerful heights. Aurora wants to watch the CBeebies nutcracker on a tablet of glass, but Maria's patience has withered like winter-struck grass. "No, Aurora. You pushed that horse too hard, you reckless muppet," she says, her orange glasses flashing like a warning sign sunset. She pulls out a stack of Bible books, bright and filled with old lore. "You will read these as punishment, and then you'll read even more. For being so fucking greedy and causing such a scene, you need to learn modesty and what it means to be clean." Aurora's face falls, her juvenile spirit crushed by the task, as she hides her rebellion behind a pouting, pink-glassed mask. "It's not fair. I hate this contemporary religious crap," she yells, her voice a sharp, cacophonous, and sudden clap, causing a detrimental gap. The clash of wills is intense, a silent, powerful storm, as Aurora sits in the pew where the Bible stories take form. She opens the books but refuses to let a single word in, her heart a stagnant pool of resentment and juvenile sin. She glares at Maria, her pink glasses a shield for her rage, feeling like a phantom trapped on a very small religious stage. "I hate this place, and I hate these books," she hisses through her teeth, while the spirit of the season remains hidden far beneath. She looks at the illustrations of shepherds and stars, feeling the exacerbated weight of her own mental scars. The isolation is abysmal, a tower of strength made of hate, as she sits and she waits for a change in her fate. Her pink dirndl is crusty with chocolate and shame, and she curses the fate and the horse and her father's own name, her petulant fire a flickering flame. Suddenly, A vibrant voice with a thick Australian twang breaks through the silence like a boisterous, happy bang. "Good day. You look like you've had a bit of a shocker, my mate." It is Gracie Spencer, 25, and she's never been late. Her ginger hair is in a curly bun with a fringe so neat, and her green coat provides a warmth that is truly a treat. She sits next to Aurora with an ecstatic, exhilarating grin. "I'm from Canberra, and I reckon this church is a cracker to be in." Aurora looks up, her pink glasses reflecting Gracie's kind face, feeling a modest shift in the coldness of the place. "I'm a muppet," she whispers, feeling out of her place and quite blue. Gracie laughs. "Nah, you're just human, and that's a treasure that's true. Don't let the shit of the day get you down in the mouth. Let's turn this contemporary attitude around south." At the front of the hall, Taran Antonio takes his stand, a keyboardist, with a treasure of music in each of his hands. He is 48, with glasses that glint like a morning star, as he prepares to lead the carols, whether they be near or be far. "All right, everyone, let's get this show on the road," he calls out. As the music begins to lighten the Petrovas' load, he explains that the drummer is away for the night, so he'll provide the rhythm with all of his keyboardist might. The sound is a beautiful, cacophonous blend of old and of new, filling the church with a powerful energy that's honest and true. Taran's fingers dance with an ecstatic, exhilarating flair, banishing the stagnant, miserable gloom from the air. He looks out at the crowd with a loquacious, welcoming smile, ready to lead them in song for a very long while, his loquacious talent spanning many a mile. The service commences as Pastor Ajay steps to the mic, a black-grilled sentinel that all of the congregation must like. It sits in a protective black pouch when it isn't in use, a detail of modest care that permits no spiritual abuse. Ajay's voice is a tower of strength as he reads the list, the order of service that no parishioner should have ever missed. "Tonight we sing 15 carols, a contemporary feast for the soul," he says, his voice having a powerful, resonant roll. The list is long. "O come, all ye faithful," "Silent Night," "Hark," "The Herald," "O little town of Bethlehem's light," "Joy to the world," "The first Noel," "Away in a manger," "Deck the halls bell," "God rest ye merry," "Good King Wenceslas's stride," "It came upon the midnight clear," "Once in royal David's pride," "We three kings," "Ding dong," "Merrily on high," and "Angels we have heard on high." Each title is a treasure, a beautiful sacred word, the apple of my eye, clearly heard. As the first carol starts, Pitar looks up from his screen, his blue glasses sliding down as he makes a most furious scene. He sees Arthur trying to sneak to the Acer to play, and he catches the boy before he can slip far away. "Get your arse back in that seat, Arthur," Pitar hisses with a snap, his voice like a thwack, or a sudden, loud, thunderous clap. "You're not playing games tonight, you little tosser. You'll sing. You'll participate in this fucking service, and every single thing." Arthur scowls, his green glasses reflecting a juvenile spite. "But Tatko, this is boring as shit, and the soldier hat's too tight." Pitar just points to the floor with a terrifying, cold authority, showing that his work and his ego are the family priority. "Sit down now, or I'll exacerbate your hide," he growls, while his loquacious, petulant temper has nowhere left to hide, a detrimental force on the inside. Pitar then turns his loquacious fury to where Aurora is sat, her pink dirndl rumpled like the back of a stray, mangy cat. "You too, Aurora. Put those books away and stand on your feet," he commands, his voice a sibilant, terrifying heat. "I don't care if you're inconsolable about the horse or the vomit you made. You will show some respect for the price that I've paid. You will sing for Pastor Ajay and the Kotecha family here, or I'll give you a reason for unadulterated real fucking fear. Aurora stands up slowly, her juvenile heart heavy as lead. "It happened accidentally, Tatko," is all that she said. But Petar just glares, his blue glasses a mask of cold stone. "Just sing," he growls, "or you'll find yourself walking home alone." His rage is abysmal, a stagnant pool of contemporary dread, making the festive carols feel like an appalling weight in her head, as if her childhood were dead. The carols progress with an ecstatic, contemporary power as Terran's keyboard fills every single dark hour. From Silent Night to the first Noel, the voices rise high, a treasure of melody reaching up to the leaden, gray sky. Gracie Spencer sings with a voice like a bell in the wind, her ginger bun bobbing, as if her very soul has been thinned. "Strike a light, this is a bit of all right," she whispers to Aurora, as the music begins to make the girl's heart whirl. Terran's improvisation provides a cacophonous, beautiful beat, keeping the congregation moving on their cold winter feet. The church is a tower of strength, a modest and beautiful place, where the diversity of the borough is met with a holy, warm grace. The onomatopoeic joy of the bells and the song helps the broken Petrovas feel like they might finally belong, their reluctant hearts growing strong. Amidst the singing, Arthur finds himself standing quite near to Anukampa Kotecha, who holds no juvenile fear. Anukampa is 12, the son of Ajay and Pritu, in a wheelchair of silver that helps him get through. He is autistic and nonverbal, dressed as a festive green elf, a mirror of his mother's cheerful, ecstatic, and jingling self. He reaches out a hand toward Arthur, a silent, powerful bond, a connection of which the young soldier is unexpectedly fond. Arthur, his green glasses glinting, offers a small, modest grin. "Nice costume, mate," he says, letting the connection begin. Anukampa doesn't speak, but he smiles a wide, exhilarated light, making Arthur feel like the world might actually be all right tonight. The stagnant misery of the fete begins to fade and recede, as Arthur finds a friend in a contemporary time of need, sowing an ecstatic seed. The Bible readings are delivered with a humble and powerful tone, as Deaconess Pritu stands at the pulpit, no longer alone. Her elf hat jingles as she speaks into the black-grilled mic, giving the congregation a message that they all truly like. A light has dawned in the darkness. She reads from the page, her voice a treasure of wisdom that defies every age. Beside her, Anukampa watches with a look of spiritual zen, a contemporary and powerful reminder to all of the men. The church is silent, save for the sibilant hiss of the heat, as the words of the gospel make the atmosphere modest and sweet. Aurora listens, the stories from the books in her hand starting to feel like a treasure she might finally understand. Pritu's loquacious joy is a tower of strength for the crowd, as she speaks the ancient truths, both clearly and loud, making the inconsolable proud. As the service nears its end, Pastor Ajay leads the prayer, for the tithes and the offerings and the burdens they bear. "Let us give back a portion of the treasure we hold," he says, as the collection baskets are passed through the cold. Maria reaches into her purse with a modest, quiet grace, her orange glasses reflecting the hope on her face. She looks at Petar, who has finally shut his laptop tight, and sees a soft sound of reconciliation in the flickering light. "I'm sorry, Maria," he mutters, his voice a low, heavy sound. "I've been a total tosser. My anger was quite profound. The horse, it just hit me," he admits with a sigh, as he places a tenner in the basket passing by. Maria smiles as a single, ecstatic tear hits her eye, their stagnant marriage feeling a flash of contemporary hope in the sky, as they reminisce and let the anger die. After the final Amen, Maria steps to the front of the room, her voice a beacon of light that dispels any lingering gloom. Her long pigtails are neat, and her orange glasses are bright, as she makes a special announcement for the following night. Tomorrow in Honchurch, we are hosting a party so grand for all the neurodivergent children in this beautiful land. There will be games and bowling and food for the soul, a treasure of joy to make everyone whole. She looks at Ajay, who nods with a modest, supportive pride, as the Petrova family's secrets are no longer forced to hide. The news is met with a boisterous, ecstatic, and loud round of cheers, as the parents and children wipe away all of their fears. Aurora and Arthur exchange a look of exhilarated, pure glee. Dobro utro, Petar shouts, his voice finally boisterous and free, no longer reluctant to be. As the clock strikes 20:30, the families head for the door, leaving the warmth of the church for the cold winter floor. The Kotekas pile into their tan Nissan Micra with haste, while Pritu's elf hat jingling shows no time is to waste. "See you tomorrow," she calls out with a treasure of warmth. As the spirit of the evening begins to go forth, Aurora walks to the car, her pink dirndl stained, but her heart very light. "Thank you, Pritu," she whispers into the cold, dark night. Pritu gives her an ecstatic, exhilarating, and warm-hearted hug. "You're a good girl, Aurora. Don't let the accidents give you a tug. We all make mistakes, you little muppet, it's true, but there's always a contemporary grace waiting for you." The wind howls around them, a cacophonous, freezing sound, but the love in the hug keeps Aurora's feet on the ground, no longer inconsolable and bound. On the drive back to Chelmsford, they stop at a flat in the street to drop off Gracie Spencer, who has been such a treat. "Thanks for the lift, you legends," she calls with a boisterous wave. "I'll see you tomorrow at the party you gave. It's been a cracker of a night. Despite the horseshit start, you've all got a treasure of gold in your heart." As the Audi pulls away, the family settles in, their move to the quiet countryside about to begin. No more Romford noise, just the stars and the trees, and the peace of a night that puts the spirit at ease. Petard drives softly, his blue glasses clear, as the abysmal darkness of the morning begins to disappear. They head for their new home, a tower of strength and of grace, leaving the stinging memories of the day to a distant, small place, as the ecstasy of peace fills the space.